Hi, Statesmen Nation. We're here with Darren Fisher as we preview the 2025-2026 men's golf season. Coach, before we get into this year, let's recap last year. A short season for you as head coach, your first year, but only just a partial year. What'd you learn? What were the goods and the bads?
I learned that it's more difficult to be a coach at this level than you'd think, and it kind of rekindled the thought of living and dying for someone else on the golf course rather than just selfishly. Sometimes we as golfers are independent, but I had an incredible fall or spring with the kids, learning who they are as individuals. Enjoying how they played, because our women's team was great. Our guys team had some great players on there, and just getting to see them grow from when the first practice to the end of the season was amazing. And to get to the national tournament on the girls' side, I think that was just kind of the culmination of a lot of hard work, and I enjoyed it every step of the way.
Yep. All right, off-season wise, again, wasn't a lot of time for you to be able to build a roster for this year, but there are a lot of new faces, new names in that roster. So let's talk about kind of what you were looking for, how you, deciphered where you were going to go, all of that on the recruiting trail.
Yeah, I found out some important things that, you mentioned it's tough when you got such a short window. That on the men's side, I had a little bit more ability to maybe attract some late ads. On the women's side, a lot of the women had already made their decisions. They're more 12 months out, so I was a little bit behind the eight ball there. But we picked up a really good transfer. Mallory Johnson's going to be a good addition to our team. On the girls' sides, a little short numbers wise, a little young, but still my expectations are the same. We're going to grow, we're going to learn, we're going to compete, and we might get kicked around a little bit at the beginning, but I think that's all the maturation process there. Sure. The guys' side was pretty well set. We did a pretty good job in the spring of picking up some good international kids, a couple local kids. So I'm very positive on the men's side that we'll be better than we've been in a few years.
Good deal. All right, let's break down the rosters. However you want to do it. If you want to talk about returners first, you want to talk about newcomers. Talk about the people that you're looking at to make a big contribution this year.
Yeah, maybe we'll start with returners. On the girls' side, we've got Gabby Franco. She's a senior, very experienced, has seen some success. Really looking for her to be the leader for all these young kids. And she has the ability, she has the potential. Her and I have talked about this several times. Now it's just time for her to put the work in and make it happen. Sarah Gattusa, she played that 5-6 bag for us last year, always just kind of right at the end, but we were so senior dominant last year, it was hard for her to break through. So we had an exit interview saying that you need to really put the time in over the summer because this is going to be your year. And then we've got Amelia Midor. Not a lot last year again because we were so senior heavy, and she had some health issues that there again, put in the time. Now's your time. You got 2 more years. Now's your time to really shine. And then we've got some good young kids. I'm really happy with how the young kids have come in and worked and acclimated themselves to the team, and they all feel comfortable and they get along very well. And now it's just going to be introducing them to college golf, and their first tournament that we have is 36 holes on a Monday, and they're all stressed out about that. So the freshmen and the transfer are gonna make their way eventually, but it's gonna take some time. I'm trying to be patient, and I know that we'll take some lumps, but I know that we'll grow.
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk about it on the guys' side then, I guess, since we're kind of talking about both teams.
Yeah, the guys' side, we lost 2 real solid team leaders in Luke Galizzi and Francois Assad. thankfully, Francois is one of my GAs this year, so he'll be able to help with that leadership. We have no seniors on the team this year, so we're going to be able to have 2 solid years of growth with this group. I think we have 7 or 8 returning players that are all going to be able to try to make an impact, and we're in our final stages of qualifying now, and I think they're understanding that they've got some young kids, some freshmen that are here to compete, and there's a few of them that are struggling to get back to where they were even at last year. So, as a coach, I'm very happy about that there's some kids that are hungry to get those spots. I don't want to feel like I'm leaving those upperclassmen behind. That's not the intent, but I think they have to learn that, the process is year after year after year, you just got to continue to improve. And if we want our team to be where we want our team to be. But I'm very happy. I feel like we're going to go to the first event and just instantly be better score-wise than we were in the past.
Sure. Okay. Let's break down the schedule a little bit. We don't have to talk about every tournament,
Sure.
but the ones that kind of stick out here in the fall, obviously TPC hosting there is always cool. So
Yeah.
that's something you can talk about. But go ahead, however you want to break
Yeah,
down the schedule a little bit.
I think the first few events, we're going to get a little bit of some conference play. We're going to get a little bit of some of that junior college play where some of these kids they're used to being the dominant player where they play. There are some really, really good players I just was looking at the last event that Missouri Valley had played in, which we're going to, and 7 or 8 of the top 10 finishers were all subpar for 3 rounds. And then that's a mindset that our kids are going to have to get used to. We're not going to play around even par anymore. This is big time college golf, and we need to elevate our expectations a little bit, that those are the scores that we want to start moving towards. You mentioned the tournament at TPC Deer Run is going to be a treat for those kids that get to qualify and play over there, and it's a course that I know very well, so we should have. I don't know if we'll have an advantage because it's kind of a big course and it's kind of intimidating, but very good competition. I changed it this year from a female-only event to a men's and women's event, and it's almost full on both sides.
Awesome.
So and we've got a mixture. We got a D3 school that's very good, and then we've got a couple junior college. So it's a good mix, a lot of good players. And then we have our conference preview at the end. Then we're going to see all of our conference teams, and I think that will probably let us know where we stack up.
Yeah. All right. Let's throw a bow on this thing. You're going to have to do it 2 separate ways because there are 2 different teams
Sure.
for sure. But what's it going to take for the teams to reach the success that you guys have set for, or goals, that you guys have kind of set for yourselves in preseason?
Yeah, I think just continue to develop. There's a lot of new faces, right? So we need to figure out who's up for the challenge and who that solid top 5, 6, 7 guys are going to be. In order for us to reach our goals, we really just need to keep our heads down and work. I don't think that if we take into account how we play in the first 2 weeks needs to be what we're going to be in the spring. And for some of the young kids, the emotions are up and down. You just have to stay the course and keep working and figure it out and figure out what it is that you need to get better at. Hard work. We're probably not gonna get a team full of 5-star kids. So, I really feel like we're the program that is gonna bring people in that are great for our team, great culture kids, hard workers that have a high ceiling, and then we work to try to get closer and closer and closer to that ceiling.
For sure. All right, we've been sitting down with Darren Fisher talking about the men's and women's golf teams here at William Penn for the 2025-2026 season. They start up at Missouri Valley Invite on Monday and Tuesday. Coach, best of luck this season. Everything William Penn Athletics on statesmanathletics.com and also on WPU Athletics on all of our social media channels. So best of luck, Coach.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Thank you.